What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Shim coming back to you with another video. Alright, now today, man, we got another reaction video coming towards you. Alright, so today is 10 craziest military training exercises. Alright, we about to go and hop straight into this. If you don't have me on social media, make sure you give me on Instagram at OfficialShim. And let's go ahead and run this video up. Let's get it.
Joining the military is not for the faint of heart. In order to turn the average citizen into a highly trained soldier, militaries around the world put them through a series of extreme tests to prove their abilities. But many of these tests are truly
What them boys
intimidating.
skiing with the
From
strap?
juggling grenades to jumping out of buildings, we are looking at the craziest known military exercises.
I'm assuming most of it's not going to be U.S.
In
military.
2012, a video surfaced of the Chinese military taking part in one of the most mind-boggling military exercises imaginable. The video, which
That's
was
the
leaked
FAMAS
to
right there,
CCTV, shows a group of People's Army soldiers testing fate with a live grenade. You may be familiar with the exercise. It's the equivalent of hot potato, where participants will pass around a potato or some other random object until the music stops, and the person in possession of said object is eliminated from the game. It's kind of like that,
playing hot
although
potato
the
with
unfortunate
the
soldier in this
grenade
game runs the risk of actually being eliminated by a live hand grenade. Thankfully, it is the job of the soldiers to dispose of the grenade into a large hole just before it detonates. One can only imagine that it's the ultimate test of a soldier's ability to cope under pressure. In the video, no one is injured, but if this is a frequent exercise, it's inevitable that someone will be hurt, or worse, in a matter of time.
But what I'm not understanding is, what's the purpose of it? You know what I mean? Like what's the prize? What are we learning? Like, are we just trying to get our timing down? But what if we don't? Is it really practice? Is it really practice if I don't do it right, I die?
It is designed to turn the merely tough into the super tough. The Royal Marines' much-feared mud run is the toughest part of a 32-week training course said to turn civilians into commandos. You can see why even the strongest recruits dread it. Exhausted, demoralized, and covered in foul-smelling sludge from head to toe, these Royal Marine recruits hope one day to wear the coveted green beret, marking them out as the elite of Britain's fighting forces.
I'm be honest with you.
Call upon reserves,
I ain't doing
mental
none of
and
that.
physical, that they didn't know they had, simply to get through the grueling ordeal. Captain Ben Chappell, who oversees physical training at the Royal Marines Commando Training Center in Limestone, Devon, said, "The mud run is about instilling a Royal Marine state of mind."
It's probably like a rite of passage.
45 minutes in the mud that is so thick they can barely run, doing exercises and games. And it is so difficult that getting through it really builds team spirit. We're not just
like some
Navy
Navy SEAL
strength,
stuff,
but mental resilience as well. And the team cohesion that comes from getting through the hardship together. This strength and cohesion forms parts of the Royal Marines' DNA. He said the recruits would not necessarily know when the run was coming up.
What they playing Squid Game?
Dislocation of expectation. There is an argument about whether some people are genetically wired to handle colder temperatures, or whether one must build stamina for lower temperatures by training in colder environments. The U.S. Navy SEALs put this to the test in a very palpable way.
Shout out to them boys.
Surf torture, also called cold water conditioning. The water temperatures usually hover around 65 degrees Fahrenheit and never go above 68 degrees Fahrenheit. From there, trainees may be ordered to do some calisthenics or run a mile and a half down the beach in their wet clothes and boots. Then they're ordered back into the surf. Many drills also require that.
That'll be the hardest part for me. You telling me, okay, cool, we could run with the boat on our top of our head. We could do all that. But you gonna ask me to go swim after all of that? You asking to come save me.
Teams carry their rubber boots over their heads as they run from one task to another. Even if the water is 90 degrees, your core temperatures will very slowly start to drop from its normal level of 98.6 degrees. The hours-long drill tests the personal resolve of all those.
See, listen, man. I used to want to be a Navy SEAL. I think everybody started off like, yo, I'll be gonna be a Navy SEAL. Right? Then I was like, they get paid the same amount? Around the same amount? Nah, I'm good.
Involved, and proves to superior officers who is most fit for war.
A shot to the chest.
The Russian military isn't known for having a gentle touch, so it should come as no surprise that their counterterrorism operations training is really tough. But just how tough is borderline insane? Russia's Federal Security Service, called the FSB, and successor to the KGB, shoots their agents center mass to give them confidence in a terrorist-controlled situation where bullets might be flying by their heads. The trainees, wearing body armor, absorb a few rounds before firing shots back at the target. In a video, the man in front of the target is Andre, an FSB operator, who doesn't flinch as 3 rounds zing by his head. They are forced to stand motionless, and then they wait for someone to casually walk past them, but then suddenly draw a pistol and shoot them repeatedly in the chest. After taking these hits, they are to return fire, and they have to aim.
Yo, I thought the goal was to not get hit. Bruh, why am I being trained to get shot? I really don't understand it, honestly. It's like, you could look at boxing. Floyd Mayweather is literally the best boxer. Why? Because he don't get hit. He don't get hit. Why am I training to get shot?
Inches away from the attacker's unprotected face. In a second drill, the trainee is given multiple cardboard targets to shoot. But while
let's shoot that.
Is pushed and shoved by trainers who yell in his ear, while guns fire immediately adjacent to his ears.
That's a little
These
too
are
much
all supposed to simulate distractions on the battlefield and enhance the trainee's focus in stressful situations.
Blow my eardrums out first. Yeah, let's do that.
Cobra Gold is one of the Indo-Pacific's largest multinational exercises. It's also the
I think
one
it's for
where
the
U.S.
Marines.
troops drink Cobra blood. The exercise includes events such as an amphibious assault demonstration, landmine destruction, and a combined arms live-fire exercise.
This look
But
cool.
probably the most photographed event is the jungle survival training, during which Thai instructors share with the Americans their knowledge of life-sustaining jungle sources of food and water. Plants,
that's Army.
insects, and, of course, cobra blood. For instance, some plants can be a good source of water, and there are a lot of different fruits available for consumption.
gotta know that.
But when those options aren't available, Marines can also eat geckos, gibbons, and even scorpions. Then, of course, there is one of the most iconic aspects of the Cobra Gold jungle survival training, drinking cobra blood. Royal Thai Marine instructors showed the troops how drinking the blood from a cobra can help them stay alive if there is no drinkable water, and can also provide essential nutrition.
Oh, nah. See, I'm not drinking like a amount that would replace water. We not doing that. We not finna drink all their blood. I thought maybe like it just like a little sprinkle here and there, but I'm not drinking all of it.
Pictures show the Marines with their heads tilted back and sticking out their tongues as the instructor drips the blood down their throats. It's not for the squeamish, and even some hardened Marines appear to have their eyes tightly shut as they get their taste of the cobra blood. In contrast, others seemed keen to have a drink of the blood of the deadly serpent. According to Marines who have taken part in exercises in the past, the cobra blood tastes fishy. Belarus is not known for its human rights or its progressive politics.
I don't even know what that is.
People consider it to be the last remaining dictatorship in Europe. And of course, to keep the dictatorship in power, the government needs an extremely fearsome military. In addition to training for chemical warfare with gas masks and protective equipment, the Belarusian Special Forces are required to undergo an obstacle course that is covered in flames. Nicknamed the Fire Walk, this exercise requires the soldiers to complete a 10K run with occasional bits of fire interspersed across the course. Sometimes they will need to walk through the fire, and other times they need to scale walls covered in flames. The Special Forces are undoubtedly an imposing unit. Belarus's ruling party has been...
But what's the point of this stuff? Walking through fire?
...of using its special forces to assassinate opposition leaders.
Assassinators?
Taiwan's Marine Corps' Road to Heaven is the final stage of a grueling 10-week amphibious training program. In order to become frogmen, candidates must crawl 164 feet over jagged, porous coral rocks in a pair of shorts. The Road to Heaven starts with a hard fall from standing to
Yo, I can tell y'all something, bro. So I went to Guam, right? When I was in the Navy, I went to Guam. Right now, if you don't know Guam, they got all these coral reefs and all type of stuff. Listen, I had to go get some water shoes because if you step on that coral, it will slice the bottom of your foot open, right? Because I remember some of the currents had knocked me over and my back had hit some coral and it cut my back up. So I only can imagine crawling over this. Oh no, I'm good.
Position. The fall looks to be tough on the elbows, but immediately after, the recruits begin to crawl through the sharp rocks on the points of their knees and elbows. In some ways, the training simulates a landing on a rocky beach, but it
does damage our soldiers.
Is a test in which the trainees must will themselves to conquer pain. The path has 10 stopping points, and at each one, the recruits must stop and perform an exercise. As they make their way, instructors pour salt water on them to exacerbate the pain of their open wounds. Friends and family of the trainees are encouraged to attend in order to...
Oh, man. And your girl watching. Man, you done brought your girl. You done brought the kids. They say, let's go watch him endure all this pain.
The soldiers more self-conscious. At the end of the long, rough road, they
Well, that
finally
man
earned their
flipping.
place among the most elite soldiers in Taiwan.
Let's just be honest. Whoever made this video, did you have to use Drake?
Back in 2012, 2 videos surfaced on the internet. The first showed Chinese soldiers breaking bricks with their heads for training. The second one similarly showed the South Korean army breaking concrete with their heads. Many believe this is merely to show the strength of the People's Liberation Army. If combat were simply a matter of showmanship, then the PLA would be near invincible. But military officials are acknowledging that such displays have few practical...
I'm gonna be honest, and I don't mean to say nothing very controversial or nothing like that, but the reason that I feel like the U.S., we got the best military, is because, look, we're not doing all this. We're not doing no exercises to show off and do... Listen, man. Breaking bricks over the dome, crawling over sharp rocks, nah, that ain't us. We go in and we just got guns. We just trying to shoot stuff. That's why I believe we make it simple, man. I'm not breaking no brick over my head, bro.
...applications, and are reconsidering the amount of time that troops spend on such training. The shift is a small but symbolically important part of China's broader effort to modernize its military.
It's cool, though.
Going to war isn't a performance.
For them.
Zhang Aijun, commander of a special operations brigade in Beijing, told PLA Daily, the official newspaper of the Chinese military. Troops training must stick close to the realities of combat and pay special attention to the urgent need to strengthen fighting skills. This is why the Chinese army discontinued the practice in 2014. Martial arts performances are a trademark, PLA Daily said of the brigade, which it did not identify in detail. For many years, they relied on these skills to display their abilities and win much praise. However, do these stunts have a practical use on the battlefield?
He gonna hit you with a kick.
Both U.S. and South Korean soldiers took part in an impressive cold weather training drill in 2017. More than 400 soldiers took part in the drill. 200.
Can you imagine somebody sliding down? Yo, can you imagine somebody sliding down on you with a gun and some skis? Can you imagine that? Like, I'm talking about like coming through the slopes like on the Olympics with the strap. That's crazy.
Koreans and 220 U.S. troops normally stay on the Japanese island of Okinawa. The exercise has been held since 2013 to train the military to be able to fight at temperatures as low as -4 Fahrenheit. More choreographed than tactical, the troops perform for a horde of media.
If it's -5,
to outnumber the
we need a bye week.
Marines and their Korean counterparts.
Tell the ops we're gonna have to see them next time.
An environment like this is unforgiving, said Captain Thomas Rigby, 33, of Company A, 1st Battalion, 8th Marines. The company commander from Red Bank, New Jersey, said his Marines used the harsh locale to focus on cold weather squad tactics and decision-making skills. Rigby said historic fights like the Korean War's Battle of Chosin Reservoir, in which Marines fought off and escaped a massive Chinese assault in 1950, have cemented the service's can't-go-anywhere attitude. We're a jack of all trades, he said. We fancy ourselves to be able to fight in any climb and place. The idea is to acclimate soldiers to any intense conditions they may find themselves in. Service in the Israeli army is compulsory for all young Israeli citizens in good health. So recruits should hope that they are not forced into a controversial program in which they are forced to jump from the tops of skyscrapers and rappel down the buildings. The idea is to prepare the soldiers for the impact of a bomb on a building so that they can get citizens out of the flaming structure safely. It is also a preparation for terrorist situations where they need to enter a building covertly. Certainly,
that's like a GTA mission, if you remember.
Hopefully, the soldiers don't suffer from vertigo or fear of heights. These new recruits will be prepared to defend the Tel Aviv skyline.
Hey man, so listen, I appreciate you guys watching this reaction video. If you liked it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you get me on Instagram, right, at official.shim. Right, go ahead and send me different links to videos that you want me to react to, right? You may see it on the channel. All right, so I appreciate everybody for watching this video. Hope you have a blessed day, man. It's been your boy Shim, and I'm out. And I messed up my own intro, so make sure you stay official like referee the whistle. It's your boy Shim, and I'm out.